That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything, from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's a mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said. Available on your favorite podcast platform.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
There we go. Y'all know what time it is. Turn up. That's what I said.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders. Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Y'all know what time it is. Anytime that you hear that music or, it's just because it's Tuesday. That's What I Said, the podcast. We come and bring you some conversations that we normally just figure out whenever the hell we figure them out. And, I ain't by myself. I'm always joined by my beautiful wife. What's good?
What's good? How's everybody doing on this fantastic Tuesday evening? Thanks for joining us, tapping in. Jump in the live in the chat for some live discussion tonight. It's about to be real.
What's good? I see Miss Tanya, the native entrepreneurs in the building. Thanks for joining us. Make sure y'all tap in with her and get part of the A Fit Fest that's going to be in Vegas in August. Make sure y'all tap in, tune in, and get a hold of her so she can give you all the details. So today we're going to be discussing the concept of perspectives, but I wanted to talk more in detail about assuming that reality is a perspective. Assuming that reality is a perspective. And the term basically perspective, or just a particular perspective, however you want to look at it, is in my opinion a way in which, and it's a unique way. It's not just a particular way, the defined way. No, it's just a unique way. A unique way in way we think about certain things or ideas, and it kind of shapes how our personal beliefs are, especially how we deal with experiences. So our individual backgrounds and everything else play a part in it. And it influences how we approach certain things and situations, you know, in our life. So hopefully today's topic is going to be inspirational, something that you can, you know, put a part of your life and understand. And of course, all these topics are based off of experience, my experience, nobody else's, just mine. So you got anything for the people before we get deep dive into this topic as I sip on my Wawa?
I do. I have a quote for the people, and the quote is from Marcus Aurelius, and it says, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth."
Well, that itself pretty much kind of
bang, bang.
That
bang,
sums it up.
Bang, bang.
So
Shots fired?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, let's not even, I mean, call a spade a spade. It's definitely shots fired. So tonight, this is going to be one of those topics that I think gives a different meaning to the word assumption. And the reason why I say that is because somebody can always have an opinion. Okay. And most opinions are a person's perspective. That's pretty much what their opinion is. Their opinion is their perspective on, you know, how they see things. And when they answer a question, you know, it's always kind of their opinion. I mean, it might be a matter of fact, don't get me wrong, but most people lead with conversation by giving their own opinion, or someone would ask, "Hey, what's your opinion about this?" or whatever. And depending on the crowd or the person you're talking to, they're always going to try to give you their truth. Their truth is a perspective. It's just a distinct vantage point that embodies all the unique things that this person believes in, you know, no matter what the subject is. It's just how they uniquely see it. But I think how somebody conveys the conversation and allows themselves to just be, you know, present in the moment or whatever, to me, that's more fitting than someone just kind of shooting from the hip, or, you know, getting their ego all in the boundaries of the conversation to where they're not answering the question. It's, you know, more of, I don't know, like just boring conversation. Hey. Oh, that's right. She said she was switching accounts. So she's back. So lurking in this darkness of conversation, I wanted to give my 2 cents in and basically give you guys that definition of perspective as far as how I see it. Exploring the concept of reality is kind of a deeper conversation, and it needs to be had. And reality is going to be perceived differently from everybody. So some people's reality is strongly based on belief, and some people's reality is based on truth, what can be proven. A lot of confusion comes to, and this is just my opinion, a lot of confusion happens when you try to add in a perspective that has never dealt with those type of actual realities. And people can kind of put themselves in bad positions when they're speaking on something they've never experienced, because it's an opinion that can be brought to the forefront as being false.
I was just about to say it can be misinformation, and most people I know are matter of fact. They want the black and white hard script to state that something is a fact versus just going based off of a whim that they have, you know, or minor knowledge of something.
Right. And I agree. I mean, it's never just like, you know, like you said, a matter of fact, you know, it's always kind of just their opinion. And distinctively, I think it's really weird how certain people's perspectives are not even a perspective at all. It's really how they believe certain things.
There we go.
Supposed to happen. Whereas someone that already is doing the work or doing whatever it is, it's not just them believing it in their work. Their reality is that if I don't do this job, I don't get paid, or if I don't do this work, I don't get the reciprocity of getting the services paid for, whatever the case may be. Everybody has a different perspective on things, but is there a right and wrong perspective? Is there a perspective that you absolutely know for a fact is not a perspective, nor is it a belief, nor is it even reality? It's just some good old wholesome bullshit.
Somebody talking out their ass.
I mean,
Just saying.
It really is.
I don't give a fuck.
I get to the point where when you reach the part of the conversation where you got to raise your eyebrow and you was like, what did you just say?
I mean,
Then I get, it's like, let me take some notes because I think they bullshitting.
to shit is shit.
Man.
And it's just getting deeper.
It's just getting deeper. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even bring no boots. I got to save my
I was
watch.
just about to say, pull your waders on.
Yep. I got to save my
Getting
watch.
It's getting deep in here.
Throw my damn arm up. So, other things I think in shaping this conversation, which we are discussing, assuming that reality is perspective, and basically I have ran down my version of steps to really break this conversation down. And that's really what it is. I've been kind of stepping down the ladder and making this a discussion that I think that needs to be had, because perspective is being misinterpreted as a reality when all perspective is how people see their truth or what they believe. Reality is what reality is. Everybody has their own different reality, but the reality is something that can be proven. People believe that their reality is a belief, which in all reality, here I go with all these damn synonyms.
I was just going to say, you said a lot of realities in there.
Right.
Just saying.
What's good? That's
Uh-oh.
what's up. Oh, that's what's up. Spotify finally caught up to my live. That's what's good. What's up, Mr. Otto, my brother?
That's good. That's good.
I always have thought that perspective in some form or fashion has to shape reality. And what I mean by that is that there's a reality in this world right now that dollar is like stripper pole money right now.
Yep.
It's up and down, it's greasy as hell, and somebody else put their DNA on it, and it's not a clean dollar anymore. It doesn't have the value that it has. The reality is that dollar is going to be protected as long as we have a government. Regardless of how much people want to talk about that that the economy is going to break down, or we're going to default in our debt, all these things that they think is going to happen. In my perspective, even if it does happen, and this is just my perspective, my knowledge and what I know, even if it came to a point, if it did happen, what are y'all going to do about it?
I really don't think many people have thought about how that potential reality is going to hit them.
No, because they've been distracted with the media talking about Chinese balloons and shit.
Well, but seriously though, if we were to actually, as a country, default on finances, where would everybody be?
Financially?
Running, scrambling, trying to figure shit out, trying to pull their money out of the bank. and in some instances may not be able to.
They won't be able to, because if it comes to a
Because
point,
they're going to lock everything down.
yeah, your money's not protected in the bank. I can tell you that right now, because the banks are in a buy-in, not a buy-out, which means they're controlled by the government. So if the government falls into default, the first place that they're going to take money is the people. Yes, but where did the people's money reside? In the damn banks.
Right.
So
it's gonna be a hard lesson.
I'm not gonna hey, perspective and shaping reality can go deep. Do I need to press that button and let y'all know that this rabbit hole we about to go down is actually deeper rabbit hole than y'all really want to believe? Yeah, let's talk about it.
Alice in Wonderland.
Shit. That's more of Inspector Gadget, huh?
Yeah, that's Inspector Gadget music.
Some old Dragnet.
We oh my God, he said Dragnet. we need some Alice in Wonderland. The rabbit going down the hole.
Yeah, let me get in the studio. Let me get this. 50% of folks would be buying up all the toilet paper again at Costco, while the remainder would be pissing and moaning.
Damn.
That is a fact, and I just read that comment.
Between the toilet paper, the water, all that shit would be gone.
We'd be in COVID all over again. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Let's be real. If we went under default, and this is just like I was saying, you know, discussing how perspective is in shaping the reality, how perspectives can shape reality. We can't even get into the true reality of what's really going on because we got this whole confusion with media.
Social media is, and not just all social media, but the media as far as like the news. Like the other day, not kidding, I can't remember who I was listening to, but they had put out information, and then like 5-10 minutes later, they were like, no, this is the correct information. We apologize for the information we put out earlier. We were misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but at least they came back and said that they was misinformed or whatever. But it's the spark of the instant moment that they're like, oh my God, we've got this big live event happening right now, breaking news. And they didn't have all their shit in one sock. And they put out some bullshit information, and then they had to basically retract what they put out and put out the correct stuff, because it was just like they were in the damn moment. And yeah.
So do you really think that in that moment it was a matter of what they believed, or was it just a matter of reality of what was going to happen? Like, what was going through, you think, people's mind in that situation?
I think there was a lot of chaos going on at that very moment. So they were getting misinformation from people they were speaking to, because those people didn't know or couldn't grasp the concept of the chaos that was actually happening at that moment.
Well, I'm going to say this. I think a lot of times when we assume we get into this position where we have to be comfortable with what's being said and not really kind of being empathetic and tolerant to the fact that everybody's perspective is going to be different. Everybody's understanding and beliefs are going to be different.
Oh, that's fact.
But we have to be able to be okay in accepting people's different beliefs and different perspectives. And what I mean by that is, like, when perspective is in a sense shaping reality, because everybody's perspective can be pretty much molded into a better conversation instead of it just being a perspective. People have a lot of perspective about Donald Trump. A lot of people don't have a perspective on Donald Trump because they just don't like the man. They don't have a true perspective. Their perspective of him is more negative than it would be positive, is what I'm trying to say. So
Or they're just not into politics at all, period. And they just don't care about that stuff.
So look at it like this. Okay. So assuming that reality is put together, or let me sip my water because this is going to be a doozy. Had a tickle in my throat. Sorry, y'all. That's what happens. The joy of doing a live podcast. So this is what I mean by kind of going into the sentiment of multiple perspectives. My perspective on how I see a certain political figure or a certain person or a certain business or a certain person that deals with other persons that like that person's idea of whatever that person does or talks about. I can get different perspectives and still my viewpoint will never change. I understand their viewpoints and I take it in consideration, but at the end of the day, I still don't like this because of whatever. Now, everybody's viewpoint is going to be different and everybody's concept of how you see things is going to be different. But the problem is that we can assume that reality is shaped off of the highlights of different perspectives. And like taking that in consideration instead of assuming that you can't get a different viewpoint from different people so that you're not assuming this one thing or that thing, then not everybody around you is going to be confused. What am I trying to say in a nutshell? Let's go down the rabbit hole. If you are providing, say, a service, say you work at a gas station, and at your gas station, you know, you have a repair shop and you do tires, oil changes, you do all the 9 yards. You got 3 mechanics that work there. And someone you know, you don't do business with them. You just know them as a business owner, as they said they were anyway.
An acquaintance.
An acquaintance. Yeah, more an acquaintance. They ain't your homeboy or nothing like that, your homegirl. They're an acquaintance. And in acquaintance, you get into a conversation saying, hey, I can start sending clients to you because I know you saying you need business to pick up. Business is okay, but if business pick up, I can start sending clients to you because you got a one-stop shop thing, you know, and, you know, I think it'll benefit you. Cool. I appreciate that. They start sending people to you, and some people are like really liking your service, and while other people are just like, this ain't for me, you know, it's just not my thing. So how is the person that had this idea
who referred you
to another position or another commodity or another service to receive services? Instead of having to shop around and get your tires looked at and everything, you can go to one shop, get gas, get your oil changed, get your windshield wiper fluid changed, get your brake fluid checked, get your air in your tires. Your kids can actually play in the water when they sit there and put your car through the car wash, because we know how kids are. They don't roll that window all the way up. They sit there and leave it cracked a little bit. So then when that soap and suds get in there, they'll be like, yeah, and they smear your inside of your windows up. Now you outside trying to clean it up and the inside trying to clean it up, and you're not understanding why the smudges are looking like they from the inside and how the smudges get on the inside. And not, yeah, anyway, you know what I'm going with that. So we do all of that in this business, and now the person that referred the person is jealous because now the word of mouth has traveled because you received these clients that were new prospective customers and our customers, and they weren't within, you know, your actual wheelhouse of being able to notice them so that you can pull in those customers. Now they're bringing more customers in because, hey, I like where it's at. Now, out of say 10 or 15 people that came here, only like 2 people didn't like it. And the person that referred those people to your business is mad because those 2 people didn't like their experience, but 13 other people did. So now their perspective on your business is based off of 2 people and not the 15.
That's bad business.
Let me sip this for a second.
I'm just saying that's bad business, because how can you be mad at somebody for referring people to services that's a one-stop shop, and 2 out of 15 people didn't really care for the service or didn't like it or whatever. And now, based on those 2 people, you have an attitude and don't like this person, so you're not going to send other people, refer other people?
See, and that's what...
Make it make sense, because that don't make sense to me.
Exactly, but that's something that happens when people have the assumption. And sometimes when that assumption happens, one of the key things that I try to tell people is you got to challenge that assumption. You got to challenge the assumption as it's being brought to you, especially if you know it's not a pure thought from that other person. You have to challenge it. And the way you challenge it is, first off, you have to accept that the reality is this person's perspective is based off of something that they encourage throughout their life. Do I need to repeat that? You have to understand that their reality is purely perspective based on the pure fact of reality that is encouraged, not even by them, is by biased. It's not even their pure assumption. It's not even their pure thought.
Right, because they were getting the negative information from the dissatisfied person or persons.
See, to resolve conflict, you have to accept and challenge the assumptions, because accepting the reality that people's perspective is always, it can be always changed, okay? It can always be changed, but you need to challenge it because those assumptions are biases. They're not true reality. An assumption is something that anybody can have on anything or any thought or any process. You can assume that this type of person is always bad just based off of the experience from 1 or 2 persons. The sheer example that I put out, there's 15 people that went to that gas station, 13 of them like her, but only 2 people didn't. And that's the 2 people she reacted to. Why? You're basing that assumption on the whole business is trash when 13 other people love it and referred other people to it? Let me sip my water.
Yeah, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me, is you can't base your perspective or opinion off of 2 dislikes. If the Yelp reviews are all 5 stars except for 1 or 2, and there's like 20 of them, are you gonna not do business based off of those 1 or 2, and they have 5-star business?
I'm gonna break this down.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna break this down, and I've been talking around it, so I'm gonna talk straight through it. You have to accept the fact. You have to accept the fact that reality is perspective based. Reality is a truth protocol. It's based on truth, but perspective is as well. A true perspective on someone's idea, thoughts, or whatever the case may be is a perspective that shapes reality. I was saying that earlier. But this is the problem. People want to put their perspective on the front line and think that that's the truth. And we have to challenge those truths, because some people's truths are not true truths. They're actually lies, and some of them ain't even lies. Their perspective that's been borrowed from somebody else has been modified to fit within their bullshit reality. Because sometimes these people like to just BS you to death because that's something that's comfortable for them, because they think that's going to bring in revenue. But now they're mad at someone else because they're actually positively making a lot more traction financially. And that's not something that the other person is going to like, especially if they assume, because some people that assume get jealous quickly.
Bring on the haterade.
I'm just saying. I mean, some people just
Well,
you know, I think exactly. My brother Otto put in the comments, and I have to read it because he's right on point, and he has the same kind of mentality that I do. I think when it comes to just dumbass people. Thinking about your service station analogy, not everyone truly understands informed decision making and being mature enough to acknowledge that they are responsible for their own actions. See, not knowing the true situation of where this topic developed from, that hits right on the nail. Because every action has a positive
or negative
reaction, right?
Yep.
So if you assume that someone is providing a service through a conversation that you've had with this same said person, but you didn't truly understand the service, so instead of you calling the person and trying to verify, you assume the services that this person can provide. So
based
now
on what you know,
based off of what your perspective is, right? So then what happens is you go and refer the said person or people to the service, and it comes out that the person can't provide the service because it's on a different level or it's a higher type of situation that they can't necessarily deal with. Yes, we all know what assume means. Yes, don't make an ass out of yourself. So make an ass out of you and me. Piece of shit. It to me breaks down a deeper. I think it breaks down to a more serious situation where you actually have to understand that not all people assume, but you should be able to figure out who's assuming, especially when how the flow of the conversation goes.
Yeah.
So
there's assumptions in everything, though.
I mean, okay.
There's assumptions in everything.
I'm not going to argue. That's a matter of fact. I mean, that's a matter of fact. There is. So let's have a surface conversation, just me and you.
Yes.
You ask me a question, and I'm gonna see if I can turn it around to where I think I can target something you may assume.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can. Who you got, Connie or me? In the chat, anybody, who you voting for? You think I can make her ask me something that she's assuming instead of fact? Or do you think I will not break her and she will win? Where's my music? Where's my
do your Jeopardy music?
Yeah. Somebody said Connie. You got some fans over here. Somebody said Connie.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right. So it's Connie one and me nothing.
Hey.
So I'll just go through the conversation and we'll see what happened. I'm a married man. I ain't touching this. See, that's what I'm talking about.
See, he knows where.
Even Tanya's going for you. I'm done. Ain't nobody going for me.
That's what's up.
I need to start doing some giveaways or something. Anyway, so bribe the people. All right, so you start the conversation off.
I get all the hand claps today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I start the conversation off like what?
Anyhow you want.
Anyhow I want.
Anyhow you want. I'm trying to get people to understand there's assumptions everywhere. Go ahead. Real conversation. This is live, y'all. Real conversation. I'm gonna get you later, Tanya. I ain't worried about you, Tanya. I'm gonna get you later.
Damn.
Anything. They don't have to be hard. Come on now. You know how I am. I can turn anything. I can turn any conversation around and make you talk.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
Peace, Mama Millie. What's good, Mama Millie in the building? Bam, bam, bam.
Great Mother Millie. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Megan is in the building. Pew, pew, pew.
I don't know. So I'm going to stay on your gas station.
Okay.
I'm going to stay at your gas station.
That's cool.
So you brought up that the gas station provides services for tire change, oil change, replace the wipers, get a car wash, gas. But you didn't bring up the fact that you said it was a one-stop shop. So what I'm trying to understand is, if it's a one-stop shop, do they provide services for air filters? And do they also have a bathroom? Do they also have any food services? So I'm trying to understand, am I getting one-stop shop, or am I getting partial service?
Okay, so I don't even have to answer this question, y'all. Y'all know this, right? I don't even have to answer this question, and I'm going to tell you why. I said a one-stop shop. Her idea of a one-stop shop was basically bought off on her perspective, right? A one-stop shop for her is like a damn truck stop. She was looking for food, bathroom, a whole service station, everything in this one-stop shop. Now, me personally, I didn't think about all that. I said a one-stop shop as far as service in the car. I wouldn't have had no food in there, but guess what? Food is a great option to have, but that is her perspective. So is it truly an assumption to assume that when I said my gas station is going to be a one-stop shop, is it a true assumption, or is it just that for her perspective, she's thinking, well, maybe it's going to have food and da-da-da. It's an assumption. It's a true assumption. Because in her idea, in her mode, and people that may or may not agree with her, some people would say, yeah, it's got to have food in there. If it's a one-stop shop, well, how come your hungry ass can't eat before you take your damn car to the service station? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But see, that's an assumption on your part.
It is.
That's an assumption on your part, that you're assuming that the people ate before they went to the service
So
station.
why the hell am I going to have food in a one-stop shop?
I'm just saying.
Fuck that.
See?
I have a vending machine that have nothing but crackers in that bitch with no water. I would have a vending machine that would have crackers in it with no water. Swallow your spit, bitch. No, I ain't stopping.
I know everybody out there that is listening right now is cracking up laughing, because this is just straight up conversation that on any normal given day said and I have.
Pretty much.
And I see the little laughter things going up. So appreciate y'all listening and laughing and joining in this podcast, because this is kind of reality for us.
It is. And I think just that perspective alone was kind of the understanding of where assumptions come from and how they can just evolve in different conversations.
Right, exactly. Because you said one-stop shop. So my assumption is one stop means you have all services that I need.
But what I was trying to get to the point was that, and I loved how you broke that down though, but I know how you think, because that's exactly what I'm thinking of a one-stop shop, believe it or not.
Right.
Me and my wife travel, and when we are in the truck and we go, we have particular rest stops that we stop at. This is a security thing. My PTSD and anxiety works differently than everybody else. I have the same rest stop and the same stops I stop at every travel point that I have. Why? Because they're safe for my wife and me. I know I will react differently if somebody comes up to me, asks me something stupid, and I already know my escape route. Y'all will not see me on CNN. You might have heard of me, but you will not see me on CNN.
And funny thing is that I've traveled separately from Ced with my youngest son, and I did not stop at all the normal pit stops that we normally do on this road trip. And
nope,
it was different.
Mm-hmm. She got a better perspective on understanding safety when she ride with me.
But see, it wasn't a fear of being unsafe, because I knew that my younger son would have my back and
bite him to death,
do anything at that point.
Eat my shorts, man.
If anything was going to happen,
mm-hmm.
You know. But I mean, it's different when we go together than it is if I do something separate from you,
right?
Or you do something separate from me. For you, if you go somewhere on a travel, I know you're stopping at all the same spots. I know that for a fact, because you don't deviate from your plan.
Nope.
Where I do.
There's a method to my madness.
I know there's always.
Yeah, I don't never go somewhere I'm unfamiliar with, and if I am traveling somewhere I'm unfamiliar with, trust me, I'm casing the joint like I'm about to rob the joint. But I ain't into that shit. I'm not about to rob it. It's just where my mental is when you're dealing with mental illness. So,
right.
Deviating away from the topic for a brief second, we have to bring in. Yes, it does. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
My brother Otto said culture and upbringing definitely drive our actions and thought processes too, and absolutely correct. I'm gonna get back into the topic, but I wanted to talk about something that is going to happen at the end of May, actually going into June. So the podcast has been going in an upward direction. So those that are listening on social media platforms, please go to wherever you download or listen to podcasts and actually listen to the podcast again, or just during the week, catch some snippets of it or whatever the case may be, whatever that makes you laugh and smile, or something that was prophetic that you liked about the podcast. Listen to it again and share it with your friends and family, because in the next couple of months, I will be delivering an upgrade. And no, it won't be the only way you can listen to the podcast, but there'll be some benefits for downloading this upgrade. I'm not going to go into details about it. However, I will say this. It will be available for free. And everything you need to know and everything you want to know about the podcast and the growth of the podcast will be provided in detail. Just saying. As Connie looks at me like, what the hell? We're going to talk about it later. But yes.
I raised the eyebrow.
Yeah, she gave me the rock eyebrow. Like
I did.
So that's coming up. And I know I said 2 weeks, but I had to pull back because I got to get some more sweatshirts, because all of these are sold. All of these are sold, and they will be out in the mail in the next couple of weeks. And the reason why I say next couple of weeks is because I have to wait until my new shipment comes in before I send out this shipment, so that I can actually get the other shipment out around the same time I send this shipment out. So all of the sweatshirts that we have that have different logos, I will post them in the That's What I Said group on Facebook. Additionally, I'm going to need everyone that looks, listens, and favors Facebook to please go to YouTube and type in That's What I Said and add yourself to the YouTube page, because starting next week, I will no longer do videos on Facebook. And here's why. Facebook's analytics does not support podcasts any shape, form, or fashion. Those that support me on Facebook, I appreciate the love and the support and everything you've written me with for the last 5 years when I've been doing live videos. But the show moves on. It goes to a bigger platform. So I do have a YouTube page. Please subscribe to the YouTube page. Follow. There will be a subscription service starting July, I believe. It may be August. But I will have a subscription service over there where I'll be providing educational videos when it comes to finance. People that want to do smarter things with their money, put their money in better accounts so that they can grow their money, as well as tips and tricks that the millionaires get taught and the people in middle class or somewhat upper middle class do not know because they don't make enough money. So we're going to have those conversations on the YouTube page. So you definitely want to go to the YouTube page and start building up that following. And if you like the podcast, please make sure you subscribe to Spreaker.com. You'll get notification every time I go live. And then if you miss the live, you know you can download the podcast pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple, Deezer, it's everywhere. iHeartRadio, Amazon. Yes, you can actually go to Amazon and talk to Alexa and ask her to play That's What I Said. Think I'm playing? You can try it out.
The other thing I want to bring up, because I'm not sure if people know this, If you go on the That's What I Said fan page on Facebook, all the links to get to That's What I Said are there for all the different platforms that he is on. The YouTube link is there. So if you don't want to go to YouTube and type in and try to find it, you can definitely go to the fan page, click the link for the That's What I Said YouTube, and you'll be able to go get it.
Well,
and subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell and subscribe. That's where we'll be at.
well, just like that, I just got a subscription from my brother, Mr. Chris. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. I look forward to actually maximizing my audience, not just on YouTube, but at the same fashion on Spreaker. But let's close this topic up and get up out of here because I need another glass of bourbon, and it's Tuesday. So Tuesday is the day that we prep for the weekend. And
I got a lot going on this week.
yes, she does. So we have to sit down as a couple and figure it out. So you got anything for the people before we get up out you here?
I know you said you wanted to run back some information, so I'll let you handle that. Other than that, thanks everybody for jumping in the chat and having this live discussion with us. It was greatly appreciated. Make sure you go to the fan page if you are on Facebook, like I said earlier, and go find the link direct to the YouTube page. Hit that. Make sure you ring the bell for the like and the subscription to be notified when we're live. Other than that, have a fantastic week. The quote will be posted on the Facebook fan page. Other than that, peace out.
Yo, so that was clean. So my outro music, the same intro music. Shut up. So make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page, please. I appreciate the new subscriptions, y'all. Please follow and enjoy the podcast. We try to keep it short because I know y'all are just starting y'all work week and y'all needed something to kind of just break the mold to get ready to touch hump day. That's what the podcast is. The podcast is going to provide financial advice, financial education, financial awareness, personal development, and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about, because that's what I said. Love each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all tap in and tune in. On the next podcast will be this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here, wherever you listen to